to Judge Stephanie Boyd, and it's always a pleasure to run into you. How you doing, Judge Boyd?
Oh, I am doing great. Of course, it's busy because it's campaign season time for me, but of course, it's always busy because I love getting into the community and meeting people.
Wow. So I was surprised to see you here. I saw you come up to the registration table. I said, oh my God, that's Judge Boyd.
Oh.
And I have to talk to her. So tell us a little bit about, your campaign, what court you preside over and all of those good things.
Well, I'm judge of the 187 District Court. That is a felony district court.
Let's roll, nerds.
Are here whenever you. All right, thank you. Anyone ready?
Waiting for the certificate of appeal for Ms. Moore. She is next.
And for everyone who's here, if the jurors are here, then you're going to come back in the afternoon, and there's no need to approach the court coordinator and say, is it possible for me to not come back in the afternoon? Because you're coming back in the afternoon because everyone's supposed to be here at 9.
This is Moore.
All right. Manisha Moore. Court is calling 2025 CR 009091. State versus Manisha Moore. Could I have parties announced for the record?
For the defense.
All right. And are you Miss Moore?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You entered into a plea yesterday. The court accepted your plea. The court entered a legal sentence. Are you seeking to withdraw that plea?
Yes.
Yes.
State, the court entered a legal sentence. Are you asking or agreeing to the withdrawal of the plea?
Yes, sir.
And I shouldn't say withdrawal of the plea, but you're asking that the sentence be reconsidered?
Yes, sir.
And you all have reached an alternative agreement?
That is correct.
So the previous rights that the court gave you yesterday, those are still in effect. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So according to this new plea bargain agreement, the state is asking that you be sentenced under 1244, that your punishment be assessed at 21 days in the Bexar County Jail, and there be $1,000 fine. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that the new plea agreement? Do you understand that to be the new plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And has your attorney explained that to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court will follow your plea bargain agreement. The court will find you guilty. Odyssey is a little bit slow. All right. Court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 21 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's $1,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrently. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with HEB in San Antonio, Texas. And there's to be no employment as a home health care provider. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing? All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Now that you have a felony conviction, you are not going to be allowed to work in any field that requires you to have a license. your home health care provider, whoever you work for, they're supposed to run a background check. They're going to see that you have a felony conviction, and they're supposed to proceed accordingly. If they do not proceed accordingly, and if you pick up a theft case from one of the residents, what's going to end up happening is they're going to be sued because they're on notice. And whatever happens to you, happens to you. You cannot go through life building your happiness off somebody else's misery. How old are you? You're 36. You know you're not supposed to be taking things that do not belong to you. And for an adult person to go into HEB, taking a Ninja smoothie machine that somebody tells me they're, I don't know, a hot item, that item is in the misdemeanor territory range. Like if there's the only theft you had, you would have been in misdemeanor court. The reason why you're in felony court for that theft is because you've committed theft 2 times before. And obviously, your career is stealing, and that's what you want to do. But what I'm telling you, steal again, you're going to have another felony. You understand? And as I said before, that home health care provider thing, you should not be working there. And people always want to know, why are you not letting me work as a home health care provider? And you know what? If you had a relative who was a child, who was in a facility where they're a vulnerable person, you would not want a felon taking care of them either. Home health care providers, for some reason, these companies have just decided to, we're going to hire anybody, we'll pay them $9 or whatever they're paying. And they just let anybody care for anybody's relatives. And then when stuff gets stolen, yeah, they'll fire you. And then you go to the next place and become another home health care provider. And nobody knows that there's a felon working with their relatives. And sometimes relatives don't care. They're just like out of sight, out of mind. Hopefully my relative is being fine. And then when items comes missing from their relative, people are like, well, did they really have it? They're suffering from dementia. Did they really have it? They really don't know what's going on in their life. So you are not allowed to work as a home health care provider. All right, good luck to you. Are all of them here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
here in Bexar County, Texas. And believe it or not, people always ask me, am I in your district? Can I vote for you? And I tell them 187 just signifies that this is the 187th district court that was created in Texas. So you may have a 199th in Travis County or wherever it may be, but in all of Texas, there's only one 187th district court, and that's in Bexar County. So the cases I have jurisdiction over are capital murders all the way down to your state jail felony cases.
Wow.
So I do that. I'm also co-presiding judge of the mental health court, and that's very rewarding. It takes me back to my roots when I was an attorney in a lot of the treatment courts.
Wow.
So I've been an attorney for the felony drug court, Esperanza court. So that brings me back to my roots a little bit, right? But I also teach at UTSA.
Okay.
UTSA San Antonio, and that's SA stands for the San Antonio, to all the UTSA people out there. By the way, Texas A&M beat my Tigers, but I'm going to let that slide. But I teach campaign and election law.
Okay.
And I also teach trial advocacy and appellate law. And I do a lot of things with the students there because I want them to have mentors so they can make a decision on what career they really want to be in.
Wow.
And then, of course, I have my literacy programs that I participate in because, number one, we've got to make sure that our young people, and when I say our young people, I mean all young people, one, are able to read and write. Two, please stop dropping out of high school at 9th grade. I see that a lot. And so a lot have literacy issues. And so in my court, when people come in and they haven't graduated from high school or they drop out at 9th grade, I always have books in the back that they can take for free so that they can practice on their reading. And as a part of community service restitution hours, which is hours that are required of you, you go somewhere, you work for free. I always will give them the option of, you can pick up trash on the side of the road, you can work at these different organizations, or you can work on yourself. because I believe when you build yourself up, that's community service to the community.
Yes, it is.
So I'll allow them to do obtain a trade school certification, or obtain their GED, or get a higher level education. So I try to make sure that if they're going through my court on probation, that they're rehabilitated, that they won't reoffend, that they'll have enough money to support themselves and support their dependents.
Wow. So if that's not enough,
Then you have some people who are in custody. They're in custody in other counties, and it costs taxpayer money to transport that person from another county to come to Bexar County. And if you can have it by Zoom, they don't need to do that. And, you know, I tell people this, and I'm very serious when I say that. We have 3 branches of government. People must have faith and confidence in the legal branch. You know, and people don't think of courthouses at the courthouse as a legal branch. They just think Supreme Court.
right.
But we are a part of the legal branch, and we need to show people that we're operating. We need to show people that people are being treated fairly. We need to show people that this is your courtroom. And I want people to be educated, because a lot of times people are not educated what happens at the courthouse. They're not educated on how they dress. They're not educated on what's the defense attorney's job, what's the prosecutor's job, what's the judge's job. And so my students say, my goodness, I've learned a lot, and I'm learning a lot in your class as well. And it makes them decide really what they want to do in their life.
Wow. So that's phenomenal. So you heard it first. Not really first, but first tonight on TAN TV, the African American Network. We've been here with Judge Stephanie Boyd. She is running for re-election. She's going to be on the ballot for the March primaries. So get geared up. We're going to be interviewing her a little bit more at a later date so that you can learn more about the judge.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Thank
That's all, folks.